Welcome everybody to the season finale here in the Marshall Thundering Herd Dynasty. We are here for the end of season 4 and we have just been straight dominant so far this season. Undefeated 9-0 at this point, the number 2 team in the country. And we take on Baylor, Utah, and West Virginia, all teams over 500, but in the Big 12, it's going to be tough either way. That last game versus West Virginia will be a rivalry game. We faced them every single year in this series so far. We are right now number 2 in the Big 12 because Utah, or Boise State, is undefeated in conference play. But we are pretty banged up at this point. David Hardwick Jr., who was one of our original first-year walk-ons, or I guess a second-year walk-on, he has a hamstring tear, out for 7 weeks. Dylan Gilliam is out with a torn labrum for 4 weeks. Caleb Uche is going to be returning, but I didn't even notice Gilliam's injury last episode, so we're definitely going to be having to lean on our other running backs with some experience, including guys like Brian Santana, who is a junior and has not been a starter in this series at all, really. And he's pretty much been like a third down back. He gets in on a lot of shotgun plays, but has never been like the feature back of our offense in either year he's been on the team. You can just see here, he's never had over 270 yards rushing and not even over 65 carries in a year. And just looking at his receiving, this is where he's been the most dangerous. Like, he is our best pass catcher as a running back, I think, that we've had in this series at all. At linebacker, we have Chasen Clark, who is still healthy, but Ashton Heflin, the senior, is going to need to step up as well in David Hardwick Jr.'s absence, because Hardwick Jr. is the highest overall guy on our team right now with 89 overall. But looking at the rest of our team, we are actually having a really, really well-balanced year. I keep saying that, but it is important because in years past, you know, we've had those big 1,000-yard receivers. This year, we probably won't have one. And that's a good thing because I think that we're spreading the ball around. We have 3 500 yards receivers. That has never happened before. We're going to have probably 4. And Dwayne Gardner has been really, really good, stepping up for Michael Green, who graduated a year ago, and he was a very, very good defensive end. He was a multi-award winner as well. But our defense has stepped up. Caleb Uche is everything that I've wanted him to be in a freshman, and he will return next game. We take on Baylor in game number 1. They have a really good freshman quarterback in Aries Pryor, one of the better 3-star prospects I've seen in the game so far. He's 76 overall, star development, but look at the skill caps. I mean, he can go way up there in power, way up there in accuracy. He's going to be a really good player, and I think Baylor's got themselves a really good quarterback as a true freshman starter, and he's got some good speed, 83 speed with 95 acceleration. Their best defensive player is David Lombardo, a 5-star prospect in this series. He's a true sophomore and already an 85 overall. He's really, really good, so we got to watch out for him as he could be a game wrecker in this first game of this triple header episode. So let's hop straight into the Baylor highlights here as we are at home for this matchup. And here we are inside the red zone in the first quarter. Here is Jaime stepping up in the pocket and showing off his legs. You know he can run a little bit. And he picks up the first down on that one. Fresh set of downs here, 2nd and 10. They send pressure by the nickel blitz, and it's a touchdown. Tracy Augustine, he steps up in the absence of Hashim Banagu and gets into the end zone. It makes it an early 7-0 game versus the 5-4 Baylor Bears. Marshall going for our 10th win in this episode here in this game. Here is Jaime once again using his legs, not seeing anybody open downfield, just take off. Play action fake now. Jaime throws, and that's caught. It's Aiden Steinfeld in for the touchdown. Now, Aiden Steinfeld is having the best season we've had from a tight end in this series. He's got over 500 yards receiving and 5 touchdowns. He has been really, really good for us and this offense, helping out the young quarterback. So now late into the second quarter, still a 14-0 lead. Here is Robert Session, who really has taken the reins from Hashim Banagu here after that injury, and he has been the one that's been replacing him. Here's a stretch play to left side. Brian Santana, who is now the presumptive starter here down the stretch. And now it's a 3rd and 9. This time sending pressure is Baylor. We throw quickly to Leon All, and the freshman tight end gets to about the 1-yard line. And now with his goal to go here, 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Jaime stepping up. He takes off up the middle, and he falls in for the touchdown. And Marshall with the 3-touchdown lead here in the first half. Baylor looks like they are just not on our level. One more possession here before the half ends here. As Hymas is in the pocket, gets hit on the throw, and this one's intercepted. We tried to be a little greedy on that one going downfield. We could have just took the points, but instead Hymas throws his first INT of the ball game. So into the second half now, Baylor does finally get a couple of field goals, making it 21-6, but here's this offense still rolling. Here's a quick throw to Tracy Augustine. He gets inside the 10-yard line on that catch and run, and it is goal to go. At about the 8 now, it's a 2nd and goal. Hymas throwing the screen pass over to Brian Santana. He's got blockers, and he does fall forward to about the 1-yard line, about maybe a foot or two short of the goal line. It's 3rd and goal. This is going to be the junior who checks in. It's Courtney Lyles. He will run it in for the touchdown. And Marshall in full control in this one, 28-6. As we enter the fourth quarter, here is that freshman sensation for Baylor, Aries Pryor, throw into the end zone. That's knocked away by Ashton Heflin. How about one more time here late? It's a 2nd and 18. Here is Pryor under pressure. He goes down. Maxwell O'Doom for the sack. And now one more time here. A Hail Mary throwing up the seam. It's caught, but it will not be enough. We end up winning this game 28-12 in a pretty, I would say, easy victory here for the Marshall Thundering Herd. And we acquire our 10th win of the season. And this is actually our, I believe, second 10-win season here, as we did play some extra games, obviously, with the conference championships and with the playoffs. We've been to the playoffs 2 of 3 years so far in this series. And Clark Stuber does commit to our team. We get another commit that is a 4-star recruit. That has been kind of a habit for recruiting here down the stretch in season 3 and 4. But we do get some bad news. Romeo Lossman, the 5-star cornerback, does end up committing to Colorado. So we got one in Ryan Reedy. We thought we would have 2, a second one in Romeo Lossman. Lossman was very, very good, 96 speed. He would have been one of the fastest defensive players that we've had. Actually, he would have been the fastest defensive player we've had in this series at all. And unfortunately, he was holding out to go play for Coach Prime in Colorado. We also miss out on Quincy Kukwa. We already highlighted him. But add Kadarius Crisp to the list. He was a 4-star guard. Now, guards in this game are really, really valuable because, as you know, the CPU pressure gets in like almost right away. So it's good to have, really good experienced guards. And we lose out on a couple of other guys like Max Ty at receiver. But I'm very, very happy with our recruiting class, and I don't think we're going to be adding any more prospects to the board. We're just going to continue to recruit the guys that we have. We have 7 total commits right now. I've learned to kind of limit yourself in recruiting so that you don't have to encourage a lot of transfers in the offseason, and kind of just do it that way because it allows you to develop guys without worrying about encouraging guys to transfer, or worrying about guys that will transfer out. You get to actually develop your core guys. So after that win, we move up to number 1 in the country. We are 10-0, and now we face 7-3 Utah, who is actually pretty good, but they are 3-3 in Big 12 conference play. But as you can see, we won, and last week Oregon ended up losing. They were the number 1 team. They lost 35-33 to USC. Texas jumps up to number 2. Clemson, Georgia, and Alabama are all behind us. And then Washington is 10-0 as the number 6 team in the country. So there are only 2 undefeated teams left. and it's Washington and us. I'm surprised Washington isn't higher, but maybe the Big Ten, or I guess the Pac-12, isn't as competitive as what we thought they would be, as we did revitalize that conference. But we will go up against Isaac Wilson, who is a junior. Now, looking at his skills, he's a pretty accurate quarterback. He doesn't have the strongest of arms, but he is a smart quarterback. He will get the ball to his receivers, and we'll see if he can get his 8th win on the year. But 7-3, a very, very good team. But their best defensive player has actually been Tyrell how you say that? Schrad? I don't even know. But he is 74 overall and leads their team in sacks, which is very, very surprising to me with 8. So we'll see if we can get a win on the road. Here is the quick highlights of this game. Here's a screen pass out to Brian Santana as he picks up a first down, as Santana has been contributing pretty much at a 80-20 split between he and Courtney Lyles. Santana does provide that passing game threat as well, and he's also just a veteran guy. He knows how to play the game. Play action fake now. James gets swallowed up in the pocket. He goes down as Jonah Leaye, who gets to the quarterback, and now it is 3rd and 18. Pressure on James. He throws short to Robert Session, just getting back into field goal range, and he does get there to the 29, bringing in the freshman Gordon Woods. This one from about 48 yards out, and that one is good, as that will be a 3-point lead here for the Marshall Thundering Herd. As here is Isaac Wilson. Like I said, a pretty good quarterback. He throws to the right side. That's a little late, but it's caught anyway. The defense was right there to swallow him up, but it was a first down toss. Now another 3rd down here, but they're going to call a false start on the offense, so they will move back a little bit, setting up a 3rd and 13 now. Pressure getting to Wilson. He rolls to the right side, trying to take off, and Wilson has the speed. He gets to the first down marker and a little bit more. He gets inside the 35 in the field goal range. At the 22 now. It's the third down conversion here. Here's a screen pass out to the right side. A good tackle by Darvian Childers, who has really been a ball hawk so far in his redshirt freshman season on the right side of that defense. And Utah does tie the ball game up on their first drive. James now in the second quarter. Here's a throw to the right side. This one into tight coverage. It's caught by Brian Santana. He's been doing that a lot in this series, and that's the 200th completed pass by Duke James this season as a true freshman. We get it up across the 50 now. This is an early 4th and 5. We're going for it. Here is a quick throw to DeJuan Whitehead, who picks up the first down catch on that one. James now under pressure right away, and Lloyd Thurman at left tackle has not been a very good pass protector this year, and he gives up the sack. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Here is Wilson under pressure. He goes down. It's Zach Traylor who gets to the quarterback. And that's a loss of about 8. And we get the ball back before halftime. About 1:45 to go. Here is Santana with a nice run to the outside. He gets pushed out of bounds to stop the clock. 2nd and 3 now. Here is Jaime stepping up, and he will take off. He gets to about the 39. And he gets down, avoiding the hit, as he has been a little banged up with that wear and tear throughout this season. They send pressure. Here's a throw to the right side. That's Brian Santana, who does take it all the way down the sideline. It's a touchdown for Marshall, and Brian Santana showing off the skill set, as he is the safety valve now in this offense. And it is now 10-3. We end up getting Utah backed up inside their 1. Here is a handoff this time, and they do create a little bit of space. And now it is 3rd and 7. They choose to run the ball here, and we do get a stop. One more before halftime. We have 1 timeout remaining and about under 40 seconds to go here to put some points on the board. And now we get it 16 seconds exactly. Here's a throw deep down the left side. This one-on-one, looking for Robert Session. He's not 6'5" like Hashim Banagu, so he's got to use those wheels to outrun the defense. 3rd and 11 now. Here's a throw to the left side. It's DeJuan Whitehead who gets behind the defense. It's going to be a big-time play to put us into field goal range. We call our final timeout here with 4 seconds left and bring in Gordon Woods to knock down this field goal and give us a 10-point lead going into half. So now in the second half, Utah starts out with the rock. This is Wilson throwing to the right side. This one's intercepted. It's Nicholas Reed. He takes it all the way for a pick six. And Nicholas Reed, one of the original players on this team, has been developing. And he just makes a play right there. He's got that platinum ball hawk, by the way, which definitely helps in those situations to make plays like that. And Marshall now in control in the third quarter. It's 20-3. Here is Jaimez now out on the field in the pocket. He loads up, throws this one deep, and he's got DeJuan Whitehead. But a flag on the play. Is it on the offense? It looks like it. It's going to be a hold on Lloyd Thurman. And remember, Lloyd Thurman, a big-time 4-star recruit. He was supposed to be a right tackle. We moved him over to left. He has just been having a tough time. Here's Jaimez now scrambling on a 3rd and very long, so that touchdown gets wiped out on that drive. We do get the ball back here towards the end of the third quarter. Here's Jaimez stepping up. He takes off, and he has the first down as we enter the fourth quarter. Now up by 3 scores. We'll see if we can add another one here in the fourth as we're just outside the red zone. Here's Jaimez getting hit on the throw, and there's a nice toss to DeJuan Whitehead, who had his TD wiped out earlier. Handoff now. Santana fighting forward, and he picks up a couple. Now at the 15, Jaimez throws across the middle. That one's caught, and it's going to be DeJuan Whitehead, as now we're inside the 10 for a 2nd and 2. Santana protecting. Jaimez steps up, tries to fight for the end zone, and he gets there. Fighting through 3 or 4 Utah Utes, and he strikes the Heisman pose, but I'm not sure he will get there with the stats that he has. He's been clean and efficient, but maybe not over the top Heisman worthy. But it is 27-3 at 10-0 here on the road versus Utah. Our defense is playing lights out. There's another hit. It's Nicholas Reed in coverage, and we do knock it loose. Now 2 minutes to go. Here is Session getting the jet sweep touch pass inside the 10, and we're just pouring it on at this point. And now here is Jaimez. About a minute and a half to go. Here he is in the pocket, rolling, throwing at the last second. It's a touchdown catch. It's Whitehead who does get his touchdown back in this one. And once again, Marshall dominates defensively. 34-3 here. And we move on to 11-0. This was probably the most impressive defensive effort we've had down the stretch. Obviously on the road, but giving them only 3 points is incredible. Duke Jaimez efficient again, but Isaac Wilson 8 of 20 for 78 yards. I mean, if that isn't efficient defense, if that's not shutting down everything they do well, like that is just amazing. And I'm excited for this final game of the season going up against West Virginia. DeJuan Whitehead 11 for 109. A very rare game from the passing game because usually we spread the ball around a lot more than that. But this time we only had 4 guys make catches in this game. Childers and Reed add 2 more interceptions to the total. But how about Childers in this one? He had 2 fumble recoveries, 1 forced fumble, and an interception. A very good game from him. Man, he has been absolutely incredible on the outside, guarding the team's best receiver. We get one more commit here from Thomas Spears, a 4-star out of Ohio. Ty McDougal, a local kid out of West Virginia, a defensive end. So our recruits are still piling up here. We did lose out on a few, but we're still adding them here in down the stretch here in this season. And now for the final game of this season, we face Alani Atui, who was a former 5-star prospect. Very, very good. He has been the starter, I believe, the last 2 seasons. and he's having a really good year so far this year. Remember, we saw them play earlier in the year versus Alabama, and they ended up losing their season opener. And they have just been okay so far. They have a really good offense, a lot of potential with it, but they just have not lived up to the hype that maybe they thought they would be. They were a top 25 team preseason ranked. Ricky Williams is their best defender, though. He is really, really good. 14 sacks on the season. He can get after the quarterback, and Lloyd Thurman is going to be in for a day today. But we are at home for the fourth meeting in this series. We are 2-1 versus West Virginia in this series. We had a surprise upset back in Season 1. In Season 2, they ended up once again losing. But then in Season 3, West Virginia got the better of us, and they have the advantage for getting the last win. So we want to get that victory back. Here is Atui this time running the football to left side, and he gets hit hard on that play. And now that brings it to a 3rd and 2 at the 33. Here's a handoff this time, and a big-time hole up the middle, and that one will be a first down carry by Ty Peely, one of their big prize recruits so far in this series. Here's Atui, a quick throw to the left side. That one is dropped for a first down, and now they line up to go for it here as Atui is across the 50 for a 4th and 1. We send 5. Here's a throw across the middle. That's caught. It's Darius Farmer who picks up the first down. He gets to about the 20. Atui now inside the 5. It looks like they're going to run a man in motion. They're going to give it to Russell Westbrook, I believe. No, that's Darius Farmer, and he loses a few. And that backs them up to the 5, to this right hash where the CPU hates to kick from. The kick is wide to the right. Oh, my goodness. You got to be kidding me. An opening drive like that versus the number right now 1 team in the country at 11-0, and they can't capitalize. Here's a throw across the middle. This one's caught. It's going to be Brian Santana who picks up a gain of 5. Now a 2nd and 5 at the 22. Here's another throw that time, and it's Santana again. The junior has been really, really efficient in the passing game. He can catch everything. We already saw he had a touchdown catch last game. Here's a deep shot, looking deep for Robert Session, who gets behind the defense. It's a touchdown. Duke Hymas puts it right on the money, and Session just uses that speed, 5'10", 200 pounds. He is a sturdy, smaller wide receiver, but he gets it done. Now 7-0. Here is West Virginia trying to get back in this one. Russell Westbrook. And Russell Westbrook came into the country this year as one of the highest overall receivers at 92. He has not progressed. Here's a throw to the right side. Intercepted. Maxwell O'Doom. It's a touchdown. Marshall takes it the other way again. The defense this year has just been incredible. O'Doom just using the athleticism. And Darvion Childers was right there in coverage. That was just a terrible throw. And Atui has been throwing interceptions so far this year. He's got 15 to his name. Here now in the second quarter, Atui goes down. It's Kerry Cage, one of our first recruits in this series. He gets in for the sack. He is out of West Virginia. I was very, very excited to get him. He hasn't really panned out the way I've wanted him to, but he makes a play right there. But on the next drive, here's a throw to the left side. Intercepted. Touchdown. West Virginia. They know it's a rivalry game, and I don't know what we saw on this play. DeJuan Whitehead had that Colorado route, and the defender's just sitting right there. I have no idea. Maybe we thought he was going to go over the middle instead of running that Colorado route, and it is now 14-7. So here is Brandon Spadell at the end of the first half. He takes off up the middle. He's got speed to the 40, the 30, but he gets run down at the 24. I have no idea how fast number 0 is on their team, but he has some speed to him to catch Brandon Spadell. Here is Hymas now stepping up in the pocket. He was looking to throw that one, and he does get out of bounds. We did have all 3 timeouts, so we didn't really need to do that there. 3rd and 7. Here's a short pass out to the middle of the field. DeJuan Whitehead has it, And we will line up for the field goal just to make it a 2-score lead. And this one is knocked through by Gordon Woods as we move into the second half, up by 10. So here is Jaime now in the pocket. A short throw out to left side. That's Santana, who's got a nice catch and run on the swing pass. And now it is 3rd and 5. Another short throw. It's Whitehead who's got it. And he picks up the first down. Jaime has only thrown 12 passes in this game so far, 9 of 12. Here's a screen pass out to left. And there is Santana showing the patience, picking up a gain of 18 yards. And a first down after that stiff arm. And now here we are inside just about the red zone. Here's a short throw on the slant, and that is knocked down by the defense. 4th and 6. We will line up for another field goal for Gordon Woods, and that one is knocked through. So now a 2-score game here as we get towards the end of the third quarter. Here is Atui under pressure. It's a sack. Jaden Duck and Kerry Cage are both there for the sack. And we get them to a 3rd down. Here's a handoff this time up the middle. Ty Peely. He gets 9. He needed 10. And they will line up for another field goal from the same spot they missed from earlier. And the kick is off of the upright. They cannot adjust accordingly, and the kicker misses 2 pretty short field goals from 22 yards out. And that's got to be devastating here for West Virginia. Those 2 field goals combined would have made this a 1-touchdown game. But instead we have possession. Here's a throw to left side. That's Aiden Steinfeld who's got it for a first down out at the 43-yard line. Here's Jaime's, another short throw. That one is caught, and that's Robert Session who gets the first down. Play action fake. Here's a throw to the right side. That's caught. It's Leon All who cuts inside and gets brought down at about the 25-yard line. And now we are inside the 10. Running a man in motion, that's Santana. RPO action. We throw out to him, and he has the block, and he gets in for the touchdown. Marshall in full control in this one. That touchdown makes it 27-6. And West Virginia really had no shot in this one. We end up winning 31-7. All 3 games down the stretch here, pretty much all dominant. Marshall 3-1 versus their rivals in West Virginia in this series. It's just been incredible. This run this year, and it seems like our team is just a lot better than years past. Games just, I wouldn't say seem easy, but our guys are just making plays now, which is very, very incredible. We've never really had that in this series at all. So we cruise to a Big 12 championship game, and we will be taking on Boise State, who actually ended up losing 1 game down the stretch to Texas Tech, but they are 10-2 on the year, 7-1 in Big 12 conference play. They are the number 7 team in the country. We'll have that game in full next episode, so we will get to see that one from start to finish. But here's how the Big 12 standings ended up. How about Louisiana? 0-8 in Big 12 conference play, and it looks like they are just right now bottom feeders in this conference. We don't have anybody on the Heisman list, which is kind of disappointing. I thought Jaimes would at least make the list. I didn't think he would win it, but I thought he would at least make the list. And for the first time this series, we don't have any award winners except our coaches. So we won Coach of the Year. Our coordinators are also up there for Coordinators of the Year, but none of our position players make it at all and are an award winner. So that's kind of funny. You know, in years past, we've had award winners, but we have not been this good. But now that we're this good, we don't have any award winners. It's actually pretty backwards, but it just shows how good of a team we are as a unit. So next episode will be the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship game. I can't wait to play that one. I have not faced Boise at all in this game, so I'm excited. to face them for the first time here in this series and the game. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will look to make another championship, well, make room for another championship in this series. So we'll see how that goes. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.